Welcome to this week's episode of Hot Boxing Talk. And this week we spoke to Warren Joubert defending his South African Junior Welterweight Championship this coming Friday night, as well as the new IBO Minimum Weight Champion of the World, St. Conco. And of course we had our weekly chat with Cyril and Hayden. This is the Hot Boxing Talk. So right here at the Hot Boxing Talk we have the new IBO World Champion, Chain Reaction, St. Conco. Well done for your fight. A very quick interview. You've been on the show before. Tell us about the fight. Was it hard, easy, or difficult?
Yo, thanks for having me at the Hot Box. Yeah, about the fight, you were well prepared with the fight. Yeah, everything went the way you wanted.
And tell me, the fight itself, was it what you were expecting? Were you expecting a harder fight from Siyabonga?
No, I did not expect something hard from him. I thought I was going to stop him, but we did not plan the knockout. The plan was to beat him on his own game, and I think we just did that.
So now that you're world champion, and that was our goal when you joined us, what's next for you? What do you want next for your career?
No, I want to fight other world champions for my next fight. I don't know what's my manager. And that manager is you.
Me.
You should be asking
no pressure.
that question.
Yes. Well, obviously, I mean, if those fights come about, we'll obviously take those fights, you know. But obviously, the main goal was to become world champion. You've done that. A message to your fans in Umtatu who might be watching this. Do you have a message for them? Yeah.
No, I love you, all of you guys. Thanks for your support, for the support you're giving me. I cannot do it without you. Thanks for everything, guys.
Well, if you wanted a reaction, you got Chain Reaction winning the World Championship last Saturday at Empress Palace. From myself, him, we'll see you again soon. It's that time of the week where the two gentlemen join me by my side, and it's Hayden and Cyril. We're going to be talking about, we're rather going to be dissecting the events that happened at Empress Palace last Saturday night. Let's talk about the Super 4 Championship, the semi-finals, Kevin Lerena beating Robert Belonte. Tell me, what do you make of Robert Belonte? Do you think he came here to win, survive, or spoil? Or both? Or all three?
I think he came here to try to spoil the fight and win, but it just didn't happen for him. He's just not good enough in that cruiserweight division. He is a light heavyweight.
What do you make of Belonte? Because I don't think he came here to win. I think he was more intent to survive and maul his way through and spoil for 10 rounds.
That's what I thought. Because he did nothing to make it look like he was actually trying to win. So he was surviving. Yeah.
So it takes two to tango. I think Kevin Lerena came to tango. Came to tango, but Belonte didn't. What do you make of Kevin Lerena's performance?
I think he scored it a 6 out of 10, and I'm probably happy to agree with him. I don't think it was his best performance, and I probably agree with me.
What do you think of his performance, Kevin Lerena?
Definitely not his best performance, but he was fighting against somebody who came with spoiler tactics.
Who didn't want to tango.
Yeah. So yeah, it made it a bit difficult for him, but he did what he had to do, and he got the win.
He got the W, and that's sometimes in boxing all that counts. Tell me about Mickey Nelson's performance against Johnny Miller. This is first talk about Johnny Miller. Great fight. You can't compare the two fights because one was exciting, one was kind of dreary and dull. Johnny Miller, what's next for him? 3 losses in a row, been dropped 4 times in his last 4 fights, but lost his last 3 fights. Where does he go from here?
He's got to take some time off, and they've got to take a couple of easy fights when he does eventually come back, and look to build him from there. It's been a lot of tough fights consecutively. You can't keep fighting these tough fights and come back every time. You got to take some easy fights and make a comeback.
Johnny Miller's never in a dull fight. Would you advise him to retire or to carry on in boxing?
I think you'd first have to go through proper medical checkups, and if he's still okay to go, then as Hayden says, maybe take a few easier fights before getting in there with the tough guys again. But it all depends on really where he is medically, because he's taken a lot of punches of late.
So let's talk about the winner, Mickey Nelson. A good performance from him, a lot more durable than we suspected. How do you think he fares against Kevin Lerena? Actually, hold on. Let me retract that question and say, how do you rate his performance against Johnny Miller?
Yeah, I rated him, I'd say a 7. He hits really hard. I did expect him though to stop Johnny though. To be fair, he has a lot of power, and we know Johnny he's always going to give us a good fight, but I really did expect him to stop me.
The fact that he threw lots of punches in 10 rounds, he came out here to acclimatise, and he's a good fighter, isn't he?
He is a good fighter. He's a very good fighter, I think, and he throws a lot of punches. He does tend to though take time off during his fights, which I don't know if it's maybe if he's not his fitness levels are not there yet, or what it was, but yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to ask you guys, I'm actually not going to ask the question who's going to win the final. We'll discuss that later as the months progress during the course of the year. Let's talk about the IBO Minimum Weight Championship of the World. Simpiwe Konko winning against Siabong Sio. I don't want to talk about it because I knew we were going to win, but your opinion on the fight?
An absolute masterclass from the little man. Chain reaction came through, stuck to his game plan, didn't try to do anything different, just listened to his corner and got the W. It's as simple as that.
And Siabong is a good fighter, talented. I mean, it's not the end of the world for him, is it?
Definitely not the end of the world. I think he can bounce back from this. He's very talented, and I just think maybe the game plan didn't work for him on the night. He could definitely bounce back.
So the two gentlemen have spoken and dissected the show from last week at Empress Palace. For myself and the two gentlemen, we'll see you again next week. So we have South African Junior Welterweight Champion and WBA Interim Pan African Champion Warren Joubert joining us right here on Hot Boxing Talk again. Warren, you're making a first defense of your South African title in your second reign against the guy who won the vacant championship initially against Lungisa Chikani from Port Elizabeth. You gave you a good fight the first fight. Tell us what's going to happen in the second fight. Excuse me, what you won the first fight.
I don't expect a very difficult fight, although there's no such thing as an easy fight. Some fights are easier than others. If anything, I think I'm going to bring the pressure more this time. I do have superior boxing skills. I will outbox him. And we'll see. Maybe we'll bring the pressure later on.
Yeah, so that was my next question to you. What are you gonna? You don't want to talk too much game plan, but are you gonna do anything different this fight? You talk about pressure and stuff. Are we gonna see something different to Warren Joubert?
Not to Warren Joubert, but you will see something different this fight.
So different results. I don't want to put you on the pressure.
Yes.
Under pressure, what's your prediction?
No, I don't like to make predictions.
So it's just a win.
I like to do my talking in the ring, but definitely a win.
Warren Joubert is the South African Junior Welterweight Champion. Catch him next week, Friday, at Orlando Stadium in Soweto, when he makes the first defense of his South African Junior Welterweight Champion. A message to anyone that's going to be coming out.
I really appreciate the support. Like I mentioned before, us boxers are nothing without the fans. And please come out. It's going to be a great show. See you there.
The Warrior has spoken to us right here on Hot Boxing Talk. Boxing Talk comes to an end for this week. From myself, Colin, Nomaganjani, Nathan, and Hayden Jones, we will see you again next week.